Come on, everybody. It is I, John, and I am here with my lovely co-host. She is beauty, she is grace, she is Miss Shelter in Place, Monica. Monica, how are you doing?
I'm doing swell. It's May.
It is May. It is May
I
now.
did not think April was ever going to end.
It felt very interminable.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, it was a rough one.
We've seen the other side.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's funny that this side kind of looks the same as the starting side. So
Yeah. It's like, so going into April, I felt this like weird vibe. And now it's a different weird vibe. I think there's a slightly hopeful tinge to it.
ooh, optimism.
For me at least, but it's still like, I don't, like like Florida's stay-at-home order is being lifted and we're phasing things back in. And I'm very hesitant.
Yeah.
I'm very hesitant because I don't, and in truth, I don't trust my Florida neighbors.
I would not either.
No, they're wild. They're wild people.
Yes. We still have it for quite some time, which people are very angry about. But, you know, as long as I can go sit on my patio, enjoy the sunshine, I'm fine.
There you go.
Yes. All right. Well, what do we got in store for today?
So we are talking about achieving balance in life. So mainly just that, only that. But before we get started, if you are watching this, thank you, number one, in general, thank you to everyone. Please like and subscribe to our channel. I'm getting better at this. Please like and subscribe to our channel because that would be really great. It makes me feel good when I see that there are people subscribing or watching in general. So thanks, and do those things, please. That's it. That's all. Achieving balance.
You are getting professional at this.
I'm doing what I can.
All right. So, balance. The quote of the day that I read this morning was, if you remain mostly upright, you're doing well enough. And so, while we sit in our quarantine chrysalis, I think that is so true. We just need to stay mostly upright and not have these big goals of perfection.
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest game changers coming maybe into the first week of April. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get super fit. I'm gonna feel super great. I'm gonna learn how to do things. I'm gonna read all the books. And I had gotten through one book that I had like 30 pages left of. And I have managed to work out, but it's been really haphazard. So the biggest game changer was someone posted something that was like, you don't have to come out this mega renaissance man at the end of this. Like you could just be surviving or just be okay, you know? Okay is just fine.
Yeah.
Coming out of this whole thing. And I think that took all the pressure off because I was going nuts, not being productive. And it was rough.
True. That is what is creating stress. I mean, I don't have kids to deal with. I'm lucky that I don't have to deal so much with work. I've been able to find balance with that, so I'm not too stressed about that. But the stress comes from feeling like I need to be doing everything.
Yes.
So since I've broken that barrier, it's been sailing.
Now I don't feel like I need to do anything. Well, no, so I don't know how you might be very similar, but I draw a lot of my personal value from being productive. So I go to work and I get something done and I'm like, I feel great about myself. And then I go home and I'll do something productive or I'll read and I'll still feel great. And then I'll wake up and work out. And as long as I'm doing something, I feel good.
Yeah.
But as soon as I lose the momentum and I just, binge Scrubs for 3 days straight and then only terrible things, then I start to feel like, oh, what have I done? What have I become?
A scrub.
Yes. And we don't want no scrubs. I can't quote that song right off the top of my head.
Can't either.
It makes me sad. Speaking of songs, quick diversion. Do you think we need a theme song?
Yes, we talked we need a jingle or something, but we need to do it legally.
Yes, yes. I did look up the public domain songs, and there's not, like, I think Your Grand Old Flag is on there, and
That's
the
what you
birthday
start out
song.
with.
But I recently, I don't know if you remember Kylie Minogue. I can't remember what.
Did he sing that Friday song?
Uh, wait, which Friday song? Is that Rebecca Black's Friday?
Oh, shoot, yes.
No, Kylie Minogue is like na 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 na.
Oh,
Right?
that's on there?
No, it's not. It's not 100%.
Okay.
But I just thought it would be good to have something that you can just kind of like groove to when we're getting on there, you know?
True. Okay, yes, I would like that because then we can be like, okay, I don't remember what we were talking about before this.
Achieving balance, and we were we were we were talking about basically the plan has to adjust almost every week, sometimes daily. So every single week has been a new dynamic for me, and part of the whole game has just been me mentally adjusting to just the swings in mood, swings in routine, swings in just motivation, so balance for me has been, okay, can I just get something in? But if I can't, part of the idea that's been helping me still be consistent is if I miss it today, I'll live, right? I'm not gonna balloon up and gain 15 pounds today, right? For missing a workout. So I'll just hit it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll rest up today and I'll hit it tomorrow. So that's kind of been my fitness idea so far.
Well, it seems to be working. You've been making some gains.
I've been making some gains. I feel good about that. Yeah. Once I feel something, like even the slightest twinge of motivation, I have to capitalize on it then, or I lose it.
By all means. That's been my biggest thing with it, is that I'll be like off my routine, which I'm a very routine-oriented person. And so I had been training for an Ironman that was supposed to be in the middle of June. And now that's canceled because I was supposed to go to France, and that's not happening. And so the Ironman's off, and now it's just kind of like maintenance work. And I'm just like, well, what do I feel like doing? So in the moment when I'm feeling something, I just got to go do it. So like yesterday, I decided that I was feeling like running, and I haven't ran in a couple of weeks now because I just wasn't feeling the motivation for it. It's been mostly biking. And so, I start out on a 4-mile run, feeling good. 6 additional miles later, we finished the 10-mile run. And then I needed to call a doctor.
Doctor.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, 10 miles. Yeah, a lot.
It was way more than I set out to. My dog hates me for it because I lied to her. But I mean, the point there is that, when I'm feeling something, I just got to do it. And then, it usually extends into something more or something less. Sometimes I'll go and start, and I'll get down to the end of the block and be like, that was great, I'm done. Find what works.
Yeah. And I made myself like a little Google Doc of the workouts for the week, and then like the rowing workouts, and then the just weighted or non-weighted workouts like body weight circuits and stuff like that. I made a schedule for myself, but now that schedule is kind of going out the window. Yeah. So I'm having to readjust, and I'm going to do new workouts. And I have to at this point just keep everything fresh, or else I lose momentum.
In theory, when I was going into quarantine, I was like, I need to do something like that. I didn't actually follow through because I didn't really want to schedule anything, and I didn't have many things to schedule. It would have been like one full chunk of like work, one full chunk of eating, and they go parallel to each other.
Fitness, I think, could very easily lead into eating as well. So my grandfather, and please understand that I'm not a doctor and he was not a doctor, so please don't take this as medical advice, but with some of the medical issues he had, his doctor said, okay, he really liked milk. So he was like, the doctor said, you can drink 1% milk every day. And my grandfather was not about that. He's like, I hate 1% milk because it's just, I don't know, it's basically water. so he told me when I was younger, he's like, so I drink 2% milk every other day, so it balances out. And while again, I don't know the efficacy of that medically, I would imagine that on the 2% days he may have had bad days. But but I, the idea of spreading things out where, okay, well maybe, what works for me is kind of a cycling motif where Monday I eat terrible, and then Tuesday I eat pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wednesday I eat kind of balanced. Like I add in a treat on Wednesday, a couple treats on Wednesday, and then the process cycles over again. So maybe Thursday I'm eating not great, Friday I'm eating pretty good, and then so on and so forth.
And what's interesting for me is that I'll have those bingey days, but mostly it's because I'm trying to clean out my freezer from days that I go to Trader Joe's, my favorite place on earth, and they have their glorious samples out there, usually of nothing very healthy. And so I'll be hangry in the moment and be like, yes, this sample is so good, I need to buy it. And then it goes in my freezer and I actually don't eat it until I'm stuck at home for weeks on end. So now one of my goals of quarantine is to clean out my freezer. So earlier in the week, I ate a whole bag of Trader Joe's orange chicken, which in the time, it was so good. But I was starting to feel guilty towards the end of the whole batch. So I saved myself a little portion that I could have later. Turned out to be 2 pieces. And then, the next day I was like, I don't want that. Like, I'm gonna eat a salad, and finding that balance. Also because I think I had gotten so much of the unhealthy out of the way earlier in the week.
Right.
So now it just sits in my fridge, these 2 little pieces of orange chicken, just reminding me not to be naughty. Don't do naughty things in your fridge.
Which I think should be, along with the being upright quote, probably the quote, don't do naughty things in your fridge, everybody.
Yes. And now the orange chicken is not in my freezer anymore. So, check that box. I was productive earlier in the week.
I always tell the rowers, in a boat, they're like, it's not balanced. I'm like, okay, let's just chill out for a second. Number one, like, you're on water. So balance is going to be a very fluid concept, pun 100% intended. But like the conditions are going to change across the course of a piece, a race, or practice, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to have to make different adjustments along the way. It's not going to look the same. You're not going to do the exact same thing.
Correct. Yes.
For every single condition change, like there's going to need to make some micro adjustments along the way.
For sure.
So kind of the idea that balance is going to be somewhat of a moving target at times,
Yeah.
And that's going to be for everyone.
I mean, in times like this, right now, when we are so thrown off of our normal routines and we are home sitting next to our refrigerators all day, I mean, there's like quite a few things that you're trying to balance. And like, I don't know, to me, it's like, I might not be doing one thing well that day, but I'm doing something else really good. So, put those together because they're both big parts of my life and my day-to-day routine. Like, put those together and I'm at homeostasis. And that's like the real goal of quarantine is just like, be at homeostasis, be okay. When you're not okay, listen to Mon Jon.
Oh, yes. That is a good plan. If you're not feeling great, pop on Mon Jon.
Come on.
Come on, everybody.
Well, so John, I think we'll wrap it up. What did we learn today?
Don't do naughty things in your fridge. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to be this insane, like self-actualized, amazing human that is going to go change the world right after quarantine. Like, it's okay to be mostly upright. It's okay to just be doing okay, and that's fine. That's totally fine.
It's fine. Words to live by. John?
Yes.
Happy May.
Happy May. Like and subscribe, please.